Thank you. My name is Johnson Dehinbo. I'm from the Tshwane University of Technology in Pretoria, South Africa. My paper for today for the OIDA 2026 Vietnam Conference, paper 44, is Sustainable Best Practices on Suitable Information Retrieval and Presentation Systems, Cases in Africa, Middle East, Asia, and Europe. I'll be going through this content, starting with the background of the study, to the motivation and the goals and the aims of the study, then briefly go through the literature review and into the research design and methodology. Then we'll present some results and discussions, leading us into the recommendations and conclusions, and then questions, if any. Starting with the background, a well-known and recognized saying is that information is power. And with the advent of the computing, there are various computing systems that have assisted various countries in providing relevant information to their citizens. And the underdeveloped countries are missing such opportunity. So these less developed countries lack simple information presentations, such as simple things as road directions. So that means someone can be wandering around, wasting time, and could even get lost en route to a specific destination. And that is counterproductive, and it's a detriment to sustainable development. So the motivations for this research problem, therefore, stems from the fear of possible misplaced funds that is experienced as I go to the shopping mall to pay bills. I usually wonder what will happen if the cashier mistakenly or wrongly typed one of the account number digits. So some shops use a scanner to read through the account number, giving peace of mind that mistakes will be avoided. So sometimes I do go to those specific shops, even if it is far away from where I stay, for that particular purpose. But better still, there are some other payments that I make that allows you to enter your account number, and then the cashier brings out all the related information to that account, maybe the amount due. For example, when I pay my television, TV, DSTV account, so it brings out my information, the cashier calls out that information, and then I confirm and say, yes, that's my name. And then not only that, it also say, okay, you have a 420 something due. So that is a very good system that allows me to be able to pay directly how much I'm owing and to be sure that I'm paying into my own account and not to a wrong account. So however, on a particular day, I went to another branch of that shop, and as I want to pay, it didn't confirm, the cashier didn't confirm my name or the account number. So he just asked me how much do I want to pay. So immediately I objected. I said, as far as I know, the system is supposed to tell me my name and then show the amount I owe. So I said they should bring the supervisor. So the supervisor came and then went into the computers of the cashier and then used another systems, and then that worked correctly and presented my name and then showed me how much I pay. So it was then that I realized how much effort I have saved. If I have used the previous system, then I will have been in a serious situation in which I will be seeking for a refund of the amount paid. So therefore, the goal of this study is to be able to encourage the use of such IT-based systems for simple information retrieval that will eliminate fears such as misplaced payments, reduce wastage of time and money on unnecessary journeys such as those that happens when you want to go back and argue about your account not being found. So the research question, therefore, is to what extent can developing countries learn from other more developed countries on the use of information technology-based systems to enable simple information retrieval systems that could eliminate, reduce fears such as misplaced payments, wastage of time, etc. In such a way, it is assumed that by the time we're able to do that, we are able to use those systems, it could push that society into sustainable development. So looking at the literature review, there are various studies that have highlighted the importance of relevant information. We mentioned earlier that information is power, is a well-known adage. But in terms of current literature, there are various people that have presented and shown that this information is really very important. Cedras and Gusai 2024 present a study of two first-year computer science students at Stellenbosch University who had their own social relief of distress application rejected because their ID numbers were already in use by other applications. This SRD grant is the grant that the government gives, actually started during COVID. They give the citizens some amount of money that can assist them, people that are not working. So as they applied, the system says they've already applied. So that prompts the students to say, okay, we are going to develop a system to actually investigate who actually use their ID number to make the applications. So PMG 2025 presented these studies, and as it goes, it shows that even Cedras himself discovered that a bank account has been registered in his name and has been receiving the monthly grant. So these are the two students that did that studies, and the studies went even up to the ministerial point where the minister actually observed their study and promised to investigate more on that. So similarly, in our previous study on sustainable online payment by preventing payment fraud and mistakes by verifying payment beneficiary name against actual account holder, the Dehinbo 2003 focuses on how to combat online banking fraud by developing a conceptual system to verify beneficiary's account number against account name. So as we go to the bank to make your online payment, or not even going to the bank, as you use your online payment on your computer and you put your account number, it brings out your name. That gives you peace of mind that the account number on the invoice has not been tampered and that you are paying the right amount, the right accounts. We also have some further literature like MIE 2025, which aims to be a trusted partner to businesses and individuals looking for comprehensive and insightful information about people within the organization. And they assert that things like employing a driver with an expired driving license or a substandard vehicle can lead to problem because it can endanger employees as the drivers take staff here and there. So it will affect their reputation. Therefore, these MIE studies now present a system where the users can do license verifications to give a peace of mind that the drivers they are employed actually are qualified and that they have their driving license, and even the cars that they are using, that the car is safe on the road. So there are various checks that systems can do, like driver license check, checking the validity of the driver license, confirming the vehicle registration details, and checking that the vehicle is not involved in any fraudulent or police issues. And also, it also checks things like a driver's accident history. We want to know the driver that we are employing, how many times has it been involved in accidents? So this type of information were not previously available. If you just employ a driver, he's just going to tell you whatever he wants to tell you. But with these systems, all those records are brought forward to be able to assist. So we also have a first check where you can enter the VIN number for a vehicle and then it will bring all the necessary information such as especially the accident history of the car. The previous one was bringing out the accident record of the driver, but in this case, we're looking at the accident history of the car because we want to buy a new car. You want to know whether that car has been involved in an accident before, because the car could have been panel beaten, painted, and everything looks okay. So you want to really be sure. So this system is a paid system available in the country. I think you pay something like 125 rand or so to be able to have access to this facility. So these are the things that encourage that kind of a system that will be relevant in any developing country to leapfrog that country towards sustainable development. So the methodology that we are going to adopt, therefore, is an interpretive research approach, which is qualitative in nature. And a limitation of interpretive studies is that it is subjective. In other words, where we are presenting information to the best of our knowledge, and we are using information available to us. So other person can conduct a study and have a different factual account of events. So, and also generalization is not possible because we are only doing a case study. So the materials and methods is going to use a literature study. And we are going to also look at multiple methods for the various components of the studies, including argumentation and prototyping. And we are using this method because in using prototyping, where we present prototypes that is working quite well in other countries, we also need to present some arguments to be able to say, if this is done, if that is done, or this and these features will make this system useful to any developing country. So that is why, according to Olivier 2009, argumentation is often used in reasoning about some aspect of a developed prototype system, simply to justify how those aspects will fulfill certain objectives. So we now look at the results and discussions. We start with an example of the simplest form of durable information retrieval systems in the society, which is a simple thing as a road sign. So imagine someone getting to a crossroad and you do not know where you are going to turn to, whether you should turn right or you should turn left. As we contemplate, another car is coming, it can cause an accident. So we look at examples in some other countries that are doing this type of features well. So we look at this picture, for example, with a clear pedestrian road marks in Bangkok, in Thailand. And we look at the next picture, which shows that clear road markings enable orderliness. It enhances compliance, as we can see those motorcycles all lined up behind the line. So imagine in a country where there is no kind of painting on the roads, people are just going to be wondering, am I straight on the line or am I going towards where I'm not supposed to be? So we also look at other situations also in Bangkok, in Thailand. We see even the blinds have engraved road marks that guide them even in going their way. So they are able to follow these uh, engravings on the road. So they don't even need people to move to take them up and down. So that is another form of information being presented to them as to making their way. And talking about making their way also, we also know that in major countries, one of the problems is traffic congestion, especially during closing hours. So we observe also this kind of a flexible adjustment of number of lanes for each directions in Bangkok. So we have the green sign showing that this lane is for people going up, whereas we have those two red marks showing that the other side can use these two lanes. So if in the evening the traffic is in the other direction, then we can have two green lanes going up, and then we have one lane coming down. We also have durable bus stop manual information, like on the bus stops, showing the buses, the arrival time, the direction where they go, leaving this bus stop there, which bus stop next are they going to go? So you can get to the bus stop and be able to see, okay, if this is the right bus that you are supposed to take. Similarly, even in the train station, we have this type of also manual information showing the landmarks around the station. So as we arrive at a station, you want to know maybe this company that I'm going, is it around here? Which road and which side should I go? Should I go to the left or to the right in order to reach this destination? We also present some manual information of road or bus stop for road transport in Italy, in Rome. We see listed according to time from 9 o'clock to 10 here. We can see the various buses where they are going to arrive, the time they will arrive, and the station, the bus stall where they're going to stop, where you can join the vehicle. We contrast that to situations in some other developing countries where no information is provided. Whenever a bus arrives, everybody just scramble into that bus before the conductor says, no, 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 this bus is not going to Costain, this bus is going to this and that. So we say this is the form of orderliness that is very useful for any society that wants to be sustainable. But beyond that, we also saw a real-time information systems in Bangkok where a computer screen is placed in the bus stop and displaying information as the buses are arriving. The advantage of this is that when the bus is delayed or when the arrival is delayed, it can be shown. You can see that, okay, this bus is expected in 10 minutes time after the previous time it was arrived. So that is better than a situation where a bus is delayed and you don't even know whether the bus is still coming or not. And to power that kind of a systems, we also observe that even in some places where there are no electricities or where the electricities may fail, some of them even have a small solar systems that will power these information systems, as shown in this picture in Bangkok. And then we also present the train information system also, showing all the different platforms, all the different lines and their stops as a good form of information. Similarly, at the airport, we have information systems that are also desirable, like we'll present this in the OR Tambo Airport in Johannesburg, where we have all the various flights numbers and their destinations and their scheduled time. We also present similar information on the larger scale at the Etihad Airport in Abu Dhabi in UAE. In addition to that, another form of useful information at the Etihad, at the Abu Dhabi airport is where you have a situation, you are going to your gate, you see a lot of shops around. So this gives you an information that, okay, this shop is close to this particular gate. You see where you are, you see the shops that is close to either gate A on the left side or gate C or gate A on the other right side. So you can decide to choose a shop that is closer to your gate so that you don't miss your flight. And then we have conspicuous directions to where you are going. Maybe you want to branch at the lounge, you can see the direction clearly rather than just asking. And you will recognize that in that kind of a situations, you are pressed for time. You don't want a situation where you ask somebody and gives you the wrong direction, and by the time you realize, you already missed your flight. And as you get to your uh, to your boarding, you want to be sure that this is actually the gate that you want to be. So we also see the display of information like that saying, okay, at this particular time, 2:10, this flight loading here is a EY, so, and the destination is Rome or this, and the gate is open. So as you get there, that gives you a confirmation that you are in the right place. And also, we have other information that can be presented, like currency, news, etc. that can also assist. So the essence of the whole study, therefore, is to say these systems can be useful for any developing country to be able to move towards sustainable development. Thank you very much.